Good evening, all. I'm Rohit Raghavan, and I'm going to present you the puzzles of 22/11/2024. Now, I have sent four puzzles and one jackpot puzzle, and that has been solved by everyone and attempted very well by everyone. It was not a simple puzzle, though, but still, people have attempted it very well with concise thinking, and we are proud to say the fact that Nilgiri players have just improved upon their play very well in the due course of time, and therefore they have been able to solve good puzzles. But still, we are doing this video because many of the people out there don't understand how to think in chess. And many of the queries that I will give from my end to my people, I mean, my people send me the a very common query that how should we improve the game. I say improve tactics, improve cognitive thinking, and you have to kind of look for the squares, right? So we will look forward to these puzzles which involve looking into the squares deeply. Okay, so let's start. Entire screen. I hope it is visible. This is the first position. You have it right there. Okay, so this is the first position. It's black to move. Okay, this bishop on g7. Sorry for the delay. Bishop on g7 is attacking this knight on d4, and this bishop on a1 is guarding this knight on a4, sorry, d4, along with this rook attacking and this rook attacking as well. This rook is only defending, so one and two defenders, whereas one, two, and three attackers. Now, if it's black to move, then okay, then there is a possibility that you can just take this everywhere. Like you can just simply go rook takes e4 here. And notice the pawns as well. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically black is a pawn up and he can just trade it off with rook takes d4. Or bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop takes, and rook takes with and rook c8 with an even draw here. But black finds a cunning idea here. And it's not related to capturing the knight, but actually it is related to the concept of overloading and overriding. You know, we learned this concept in the previous video as well, where you have to apply, what should we say? We have to apply certain techniques such as overloading or overriding. What does overloading or overriding actually means? Uh, let's say you have a certain piece on your mind and you are defending that certain piece. Okay. At the same time, you are using the same piece to defend another threat. So in that case, your opponent has a clear target of driving you into one of the most safety squares, which has to be addressed immediately, so that he could take advantage of the weakness that has been left from your end uh, to the opposition camp, and therefore you will be able to win the game. Okay, this is a pure English. Let me just illustrate this point in this puzzle. If you see this bishop on a1, if you observe, is a kind of overloaded puzzle. Why? Because if I consider taking this bishop using my rook, can you see the difference that this bishop is making now? If rook takes a1 comes, then bishop takes d4 is a check. Firstly, nextly, it forks this rook and this rook as well. And our family, our family means the black family, ends up paying a full rook or even a full piece up here. A bishop, it has lost the bishop due to its inability to mobilize position in this manner, and therefore the game ended quite swiftly. So the correct answer is rook takes a1, rook takes a1, rook takes a1, and bishop takes d4. is a check, and this diagonal is gone, this diagonal is gone. Everything is a crossroad, but black can take either of the routes for their safety. Okay, so let's move on to the next puzzle. This is also black to move and win. So here, if we observe the fact that white is having a queen and black is having two rooks and a knight. So ideally, you don't want this g2 pawn to be there on the board because you want to play knight f3 here, and you win the queen as well as the fork king, the king as well. Okay, and if it comes king f1, then you have knight h2 kind of thing, or even knight d2 kind of things can happen at this point very soon. Okay, so that's one thing. But imagine for one second that if this g2 pawn is not there actually, then it's knight f3 game over. It's not game over, but it will be a significant stride towards getting a game over. Okay, that did not happen. But black uh, tries to insist the fact that this rook also is standing behind the knight and can deliver checkmate whenever needed to do so, or whenever summoned to do so. So in that case, black goes knight f3 check here. In spite of the fact that this g2 pawn is standing, he still goes for knight f3 check. Why? The reason is he wants the king to come here or here, or it's not possible to come on h2. Only f1 is possible. And if f1 is possible, then queen e2 is also, sorry, then rook e1. Rook e1 is also possible. Okay, I'm sorry. It was rook and rook e1 is checkmate and also disbarment of 1 minute as well. But fine. So the correct answer here goes to knight f3 here. Knight f3 check is the main clincher. And now, how did I derive this knight f3? Okay, what I thought was when I see the rook on c2, okay, it is guarding this entire file except h2. Okay, so if I get a bride who is a British, who is an American, or who is like British American kind of thing, then maybe you can go like knight f3 and gf3 and then rook e1. Okay, I'm so sorry for the errors, but here rook e1 comes in with a check. Fine. So basically, if you see, this file is kind of like I said, it's like a distance of America and Japan, maybe, or any other country you wish to. What I mean to say is, this file is entirely controlled by the rook. In case this g3 pawn moves, this file is completely empty and rook even delivers a fantastic mate of them. Your you may have missed this, but it's the line. It's the top line here. Okay, so just a sec. Let's move on to the next puzzle. This is the third puzzle at white to move. This is a pretty simple and straightforward puzzle. If you see, it's kind of a theme which is known as anesthesia mate. You have to remember this thing because it's a very specific theme where this knight, generally knights on e7 are placed and they block the pathway from g8 and g6. And similarly, bishop also places on f7 do the same thing, lengthy matches. And you have also done the same. So basically, no, he has to go bishop h4 on the first jump. Okay, that's a very simple move because this rook is defending, and if it takes, then rook takes h4 is a clean checkmate. For match over for white, of match over for black. Sorry, but since like is playing, we would like to uh due to this rook being played, we would like to go bishop takes h4 here first because we just want to show another emphatic line here. So bishop takes h4 and the hospitality was great. So the bishop can just come out to e7. Okay, let's just go back a little bit. If you take this bishop on h4, you are exposing the king, queen, and thereafter rook takes h7, g takes f7 comes in with the queening option on next move. And if he comes queen f8, then go bishop e7 instead, and you will be saved. That's one idea. Okay. Is there any other idea? I don't think so, because if you take the rook, then you are giving up the h5. So the correct answer is bishop takes. Okay, bishop takes bishop, sacrificing the queen. And if you go here, then f takes g7, and he becomes the first man. Uh, actually, we should say that this pawn becomes the first man to deliver an anesthesia mate, but that's not true. Actually, the pieces are arranged in a very, very unique as well as great manner for white, that it will take just a matter of time to, shrug it off. Okay, so let's move on to the next puzzle. So the correct answer is bishop takes h4, rook takes f7, g takes f7, and think anywhere, you will get the bishop e7. Correct, which is the ultimate steroid that we had to give. So let's move on to the fourth puzzle. Yeah, this is also a very, very intriguing puzzle, I should say. This is also a very, very intriguing puzzle, I should say. Not this one. Yeah, this one. So basically, it's white to move. Sorry, it's black to move, and then I will just uh, do a quick recap of what actually is being done here. So you have rook to e2 check, and rook is on b3 already, but he has a company called king f1. He will not come to e1. So he is asking if there is any kind of what should we say, support system to bring the what should we say, to bring every resources or like everything under the control of the firm entirely. Because some teachers teach very well, but they don't have the business model to work efficiently. And the reverse is also true. That's one thing. So here, in this position, rook on b3 is completely dominating this white king on g2. So either you can go to g2, but then you have knight 3. Okay. Now, notice that this knight on f4 is going to cause a great havoc. Why havoc? Reason is this knight on f4 is so menacing at this point that if you somehow play rook e6 or rook d5, something like this, you have the mate in the hand. That's one thing. Now, the correct move here is actually, after many tries, rook d5 is the correct move here. Why? Because if this queen takes, then you have knight f4 check, and the queen goes. But what if the queen doesn't take? It goes rook d5, so then it can go for g5, and you can just go for king takes g5. It's a good prospect. So rook d5, queen takes d5, knight f4, and if any other move other than being on the d5, it has to be rook d2 and rook d1 checkmate. Okay. So last puzzle is a jackpot puzzle, and it's actually a drawing line, a very, very forced drawing line, and an easy one too as well. So basically, what we have to do is, I think we have to study this in Leisure studies. So let's just generate a Leisure study for the same. So sorry, leisures.org, and thereafter, if we go to the study column, we'll get the studies that we have completed. And in Nilgiri House Warriors puzzle, this was the puzzle that I sent, right? Basically, if you see, the C pawn has to be stopped from winning, and so is rook e5. And the flow is rook he nahi. So basically, what you have to do is here you have to play something like c3 or f5, f4, whatever it is. You have to be really, really alert while playing this position and drawing it. One simple trick is bishops are long range pieces. Okay, bishops are long range pieces, and since bishops are long range pieces, they understand the power of a bishop at the wicket. That's why he was hesitant to make channel with the upper swordsman, the pawn and the bat. So sorry for the little bit slip up, but yeah, the g6 is a kind of good move because if he goes, then you have bg5, completely cutting off the king from safety. That's one thing. But if he goes king g6, sorry, yeah, if he goes something like f6, having wondered what will happen, well, this is a very, very intriguing puzzle. The thing is, you cannot play bishop takes f6 because f4 pawn follows and you will be losing this. Okay, that's one thing. And is there any, okay, we don't have any other means to capture your, to stop your pawn, but we can capture the killer using my phone ID. So basically, I tries to copy the numbers that have been called by phone ID and protected ourselves by saying that, okay, this was not a Saturday night kind of an expertise. So that's the thing. It's basically BG5 has to be played here at any point of time, but it's 9.5 and then dress okay, ये करके ये it's just a dress rehearsal for the ultimate upcoming battle. Basically, what you have to do is you have to just sacrifice, and if you play f6, then do not take this pawn. Instead, sacrifice this bishop to go king d6. If he goes king d8 by mistake, you have g7 on the board. Basically, here this king d6 move is actually a brilliant move because it aims to abandon the bishop, and if you abandon, then I goes to. So basically, you have to stop this bg5 idea. That's one thing. But if you play g6 and then he plays f6, then king d6 becomes a very, very mandatory move because he has to take, and if he wants to play his features, he will go for something like king c8, and then you can do a lot of charities. I'm so sorry, but this is the idea here. And once you go king d8, then g7, and your thing gets relevant or we will sure. So that's the thing. We are shipping here, and we have to ship out the good things about the position. Now, in this position, let's say black does not say, okay, I'm not ready, I'm looking African, got this G7. Then you can just say, fine, no problems. You will take this, bishop takes f6, or you can just go somewhere like d5 or c3, then bishop f6, f4. Yeah, It's kind of hard, but it will be a very good thing to do. Okay. Thereafter king d4 c3. Now if you take this c2 and bb2 f4 king f4 and bishop point, and this becomes and this gets lost as well. So basically, if you see, it's a very tricky line to execute on the board, but many people have done it. So kudos to them. So the answer is g6 here. g6 followed by bg5. If f takes g6 is played, or if f6 is played, then you have to play this beautiful king d6 on the board right now. So thank you for watching the video and see you soon tomorrow. Until then, bye bye.